solidified!
Shifting sands know not the mountain's permanence.
Everybody stand back!
The enraged earth will not absolve you!
Get out of here! Take cover! Ow!
Watch out!
Allow me!
You've recovered. How can that...
Focus your efforts, Morax.